Pisces, this is your tarot reading for the month of June. Everyone's has been extremely interesting, and I can see yours is also. I really hope you get something from it. I hope you find it useful, Pisces. I really do. First reaction is I'm not entirely sure what to make of this. I get the impression that you're concerned about what's going on in the world and you're looking for answers. The middle card there, the Hierophant, suggests that you're turning to formal religion for answers. It could be simply tried and tested ways. Bottom right hand corner, the Ace of Clubs. You're looking for something, you're searching for something. You may get inspiration from it. Now, this was the recent past. But I'm not too certain you do, because your current energy is the Page of Cups, seeking something a bit more creative. Now, that doesn't necessarily fit in with the Hierophant. In the future, we have the Five of Cups, which is a pessimistic attitude towards things. The energy impacting on the outcome is you taking a rest. And I think this is positive. Quite a lot of signs during June have had this needing to take a rest, this Four of Swords. And it's always been a positive thing to do. Why I think it is, few of us can read what is really going on in the world, and it's better to just sort of have a rest than keep rushing into things. However, what changes the outcome is the Knight of Pentacles, which is slow moving, but it's still it's slow moving but still moving, and it's a determination to get something done. And I think you're being told to abandon that determination, because the outcome I see is a good outcome. It's the King of Wands, so an entrepreneurial king. So does your circumstances force you into entrepreneurship? Certainly feels like that, but hey, I've got to unpack this a lot. Please stay with me to hear it. Now, I think we're all concerned about what's going on in the world, and few of us truthfully have answers. And I think you're seeking answers. And you're probably turning to formal religion to seek those answers, because we have this Hierophant card here. It could be looking at tried and tested ways of doing things. And one thing that has come through in June is that you can't really learn from the past. We're in a new paradigm, if you like. So looking to the past for answers doesn't give it to you. So nor would tried and tested ways. But if it's religion, maybe it is providing you with some answers. But this does cut through, this energy cuts through the entire reading. So I have to recognise that as I interpret all the other cards. And in a recent past we have the Ace of Wands, which again is about you seeking out answers, seeking out something new, wanting to do something, an imperative to do something, whereas there's warnings not to do something here, I think. But you may have got from that some inspiration, because I do get the impression that you're somewhat ahead of the game in understanding what's going on. None of us have a full picture of what's going on in the world. In fact, there's so much deception, how could we? But I do get the impression that you somewhat know, but you don't really know what to do about it. I think that's the big issue here. yeah, you're not clear on what action you should take. Current energy is that of the Page of Cups, and that's a bit more lateral thinking, going out and searching for something, but sort of a bit more lateral thinking about it, saying, well, maybe I don't have the answers. And that doesn't fit in with the Hierophant, which is tried and tested, because he's been open to new ideas. I mean, you look at it, he's got a cup with a fish in it. So the unexpected, things that you might not normally think of. And from that, I think, will come inspiration. But whether or not that inspiration is welcome, I think we have to have some doubt about. I think it's you're beginning to realise that yes, we have been manipulated. We have been lied to. And I think there's a general realisation on your behalf that that's going on right now. And one of the reasons why I say maybe the information you get isn't entirely welcomed is we now have the Five of Cups, which is a card of pessimism. You look at it and she's looking at those cups that have fallen over and thinking, oh dear. But behind her is a full cup and she can't even see that. And she's in front of that lovely village with a bridge over the Calais to it, and not even aware of that. So pessimism is something whereby you become stymied. But I do think being a little bit stymied is maybe the right thing to be doing here. So whilst I normally see this as not, well, it's not good, is it, to be pessimistic? It's not good to be feeling sad. But if it's preventing you from acting, maybe that's a good thing. Because you see, I think some of the apocalyptic prescriptions that abound at the moment, and particularly on this platform, are actually designed to get you to panic into doing things that aren't in your best interest, particularly in terms of investments. So I think the penny has dropped somewhat and you're despondent as a result of that. Now, I've kept saying that I think inactivity is the best thing in these strange circumstances, particularly in inactivity in terms of investments, but I think inactivity all round is being urged at the moment. And here we have the Four of Swords, which is you taking a rest. It's probably a well-earned rest. It's probably something you feel you need to do. And, you know, if you are a little bit despondent, it's no bad thing to be doing it. So I don't see it as a particularly negative card, and it does lead to the outcome. It's almost a girding your loins type of card, if you ask me. So, no, I don't necessarily see this as a bad card to have placed here. No. Now, if taking a rest leads to the outcome, the Knight of Pentacles changes the outcome. And I think the outcome is a good outcome. So why would the Knight of Pentacles be a bad strategy? Well, one thing is he moves very slowly. So you might think, well, taking a rest, moving slowly, are they the same? And maybe they're not. Because you see, there's a dogged determination about the Knight of Pentacles. So he's on a course of action and he's determined to see it through. And I think there's a warning from the universe to change your course of action, to change what you're doing. That's my feeling about what it's about. because the outcome is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is a very entrepreneurial king. Now again, I've been getting sort of indications that enterprise, particularly a sort of social enterprise or enterprise as ethical enterprise, is the right thing to be doing at this moment in time. And maybe you're looking at things and saying, well, what can I do? And you're being encouraged, well, first of all, you're encouraged to take a rest. So I think you took a rest and girded your loins and thought about things and thought, no, I've got to do something. And I think it's about doing something for your family, but doing something for communities as well. So it's not the sort of enterprise, I'm going to start a business and it's going to become huge. It's more, no, I have to do something for those around me. And I think you're stepping into your own in doing this. But let's get some clarification. I'm going to seek clarification on the Five of Cups. Why are you so despondent? Well, the first card of clarification is the Five of Pentacles, the card of poverty. The next card of clarification is another Four of Swords, taking a rest. And then the final card is the Sun card. Many blessings. Many blessings. One of the most wonderful cards you can have. So it's almost as though this despondency, this rest, leads to something much greater. Let's look at each individually. Now, as I say, this first card we have is the card of poverty, and I don't know if it's actual poverty or fear of poverty. Remember, it's sort of clarifying your pessimism. Maybe you have lost money. I don't get the impression that you're in abject poverty, which this card can mean. Maybe you've lost money on investments. Many people, I was predicting, would in March and April. And I think some did, but it wasn't quite as bad as I was predicting. Because as I keep saying, I think these apocalyptic predictions were designed to panic people into making the wrong investment decisions. And I think it's more your understanding of this, that the penny's dropping, just as it has for me, that all markets are inherently rigged. And I think that's why you're pessimistic, because you're realising that what is going on in the world today is designed to impoverish the majority, and that's making you somewhat pessimistic. And yet again we have this Four of Swords, the card of taking a rest. Now, if you are feeling depressed, which is suggested by the Five of Cups, which this is clarifying, then you will feel like taking a rest. And as I say, I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing. So I think taking a rest from what you're doing and maybe reappraising what you're doing is a good thing. I think it's a necessary thing. Just as I think that this pessimism and despondency is a necessary thing, it's a sort of a realisation that those people that you felt were looking after your interests aren't. And a realisation that you need to do something for yourself. Not only for you, but for your family, for your loved ones, maybe for your neighbours, maybe for the community. But I think that's what's going on. Now, maybe I'm fooling myself when I tell you that the reason why I don't think things are quite as bad as the prescriptions that you see, particularly on this platform, is because of people like myself who've tried to keep positive despite seeing through what's going on But having faith in Allah or God, having faith in the common man, having faith that if we don't accept a trajectory, we can change it. Now, maybe I'm fooling myself, but we have this sun card here, which is multiple blessings. And I think multiple blessings are round the corner for many, many of us. And if we can only be positive, and to a certain degree, I think your pessimism, your fear of poverty, it brings a new life into you, a realisation that you need to do something, as I say, for yourself, for your family, for your community. And I see that as very positive. And if we can start creating a world for the common man, for community, then I think we will end up with a much better world. Because there's no doubt that we have been manipulated, we have been lied to, that so many of the crises that are occurring at the moment are designed to redistribute wealth from the poor to the rich. And I think the penny has dropped with you, Pisces. And rest assured, there are blessings coming to you. So I think we can summarise now. Pisces, we're all aware that there's something not very right about the world at the moment. And I think you've been searching for answers. You have to a certain degree turned to religion to look for those answers, but you're also searching for what on earth is going on, maybe creative inspiration on what is going on. And I think what you find out you don't like, you're beginning to realise how humanity's been manipulated, been lied to, how these series of crises that we've faced over recent years appear to be designed to redistribute wealth from the rich to the poor, from the poor to the rich, and you don't like what you see, and it makes you despondent. You're fearful that if you carry on in the trajectory that we have, that it's going to result not only in your poverty, but the poverty of the common man. And whilst you've been trying to do something, what you really need to do, for a while at least, is take a rest. Let all this sink in, and once it's sunk in, you will be renewed. You'll want to act, but this time you'll want to act from an informed position. And what you're going to do is you're going to end up something of a social entrepreneur. You're going to want to do things for yourself, for your family, and for the community. I see that as the basis of building a better world. So God bless you, Pisces. I think you're moving in the right direction. There is a warning that not to keep on with what you were doing, despite you having a dogged determination. I think you realise that it's not going to get you anywhere. You need to change. You need a degree of resilience. You need to take charge of your own life, your own destiny, the destiny of your family and friends, loved ones and community, because those people that you had trust in don't deserve it. So it's something of a watershed, isn't it, this? I think it's very positive ultimately, but there's certainly some pain you've got to go through during the month of June.